Before we get into this episode, there's something that might be of interest that I wanted to tell you about. Scene and Heard, who run this podcast, have been asked by Scotland Food and Drink to undertake a strategic review of the Scotland Food and Drink Excellence Awards. Now, these Excellence Awards have been going for almost 20 years and are a huge mainstay of the food and drink sector. But it's time to ensure that they're still relevant. So if you have ever been involved in the Scotland Food and Drink Excellence Awards, or even if you've ever had an opinion about them, we would love for you, please, to complete our survey. So if you go to the On Farm Twitter, which is at @on_farm UK, and click the link in the bio, there will be a tab in there that will take you to the survey, and it should only take you a very short while to complete, but we would be enormously grateful.
Welcome back to the On Farm podcast. This is Monty. Thank you as always for being with us. This time we're heading to the Highlands for our latest partnership with agritourism specialists Go Rural Scotland. We've got together with Go Rural to showcase farm days out and visitor experiences near to some of Scotland's biggest cities. This time we get a chance to go rural from Inverness.
We've got a recipe that we've been using for decades. Yeah, we've managed to pick up 1 or 2 awards for it on the way.
So we've come down to see the pigs. These ladies are looking rather portly.
Yeah, well, they're late in pig now, which means they'll be having little piglets probably within the next week.
Quite often when I'm going past, I can see people sitting out here with a book or just a coffee and just having a bit of quiet time, a bit of relax.
Everyone loves sitting in the hot tub. I was down earlier this morning, I saw someone having their morning coffee in the hot tub. Even on a kind of coldish day, you're warm in the hot tub, so it doesn't really matter what the weather's like.
As you'll know by now, Go Rural's aim is to showcase and spotlight brilliant farm-based visitor experiences and to get thousands more people out of Scotland's towns and cities to visit Scottish farms and crofts. For this episode, we've brought in radio producer Emily Asen to take us on a whistle-stop tour of 4 more farm locations. There's not really much more for me to say at this stage, so I'll leave you in Emily's capable hands from here.
I'm a big fan of finding all these little quirky, unusual businesses who are doing something just that little bit different to what you might expect. The car is packed, I've got my bags, and I've got a flask of tea ready to go too.
Hello. Who are you?
Hi there, how
Hi, Jock.
Yes.
Emily, nice to meet you.
Nice
How
to
are you
meet
doing?
you. Keeping well. Lil,
wow,
get
who
down.
is this?
This is Lil, and this is Shinty. So Lil's a new arrival. She's pretty excited, but she's a really useful dog, so it
What
makes
a
our life a
warm
lot easier. So my name's Jock Gibson, and we're at Edenvale Farm, just outside Dallas in sunny Murray.
And it is glorious today. We've got a little bit of cloud cover, but it's coming and going, and the view that way across the valley to the wind farms. I mean, you must feel like you are in a little slice of Eden yourself.
Yeah, we're really lucky to be here. I mean, we've got some fantastic views. We've got a great farm. Yeah, and it's a beautiful part of the world.
Absolutely. Now, I'm intrigued by this lovely green shed down at the bottom of the driveway here. Shall we go and have a look?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is our little honesty shed that was set up on the back of COVID. The start of COVID during lockdown, and everybody in the village was doing their bit to provide stuff for the village. So people were getting bread, other people were getting vegetables, and we were getting in milk and delivering that round to people who were worried about leaving their houses and what have you. My wife Fiona always wanted a bake box at the end of the road, so we eventually combined the two things, and the wee shed shop was born.
I love your decor here with all of the fairy lights as well. This is so inviting.
Quite cosy.
It is well stocked. It's well stocked. So tell me just a little bit about what we have on offer here. It looks like you could stock your entire kitchen.
So that is basically the idea, is that there might not be everything that you want, but if you haven't got anything in your fridges at home or in your cupboards at home, you'll be able to come here and at least get something to make a meal. So we've got bread from an award-winning bakers through in Inverness. Milk comes from Black Isle Dairy. And then, of course, we've got our own meats from the farm here. And most importantly, Fiona's wonderful baking.
Looking at the bacon, we've got Tiffins, Mars Krispies, coconut and lime slice, always a favourite, brownies. But then also like other products like obviously you've got some eggs, honey, jams and marmalades. I mean, you do have everything.
So the premise is that everything comes as locally as possible, and there's a road basically a road round Dallas, and most of the products will come from there or nearby. So we've got people making soaps locally. We've got a honey maker. Yeah, honey maker, I suppose, for want of a better word. Bees make the honey, but Yogi makes the honey, and she's actually got some hives on the farm here. So it's...
Sorry, I've just noticed what this honey's called. Yogi Bear's honey.
Yeah.
That's just brilliant.
So it's great. So she's a wonderful lady, and we're really lucky to have her and her bees supplying the shop.
So you mentioned the beef that you have on the farm here. Tell me a little bit about that, because I hear it's rather special and possibly slightly pampered.
Well, we like to think so. So when my parents bought the farm in the mid-70s, they had pedigree Highland cattle, and that was the mainstay of the farm. Since then, we've introduced other breeds like Shorthorn and Aberdeen Angus. We now have, we've settled down to Highland Cross Shorthorns. They're 100% grass and forage fed, so we're certified by Pasture for Life for that. So no other inputs apart from the green stuff that we grow out of the ground.
And I was reading online that you say that they're naturally reared.
Yeah.
So for someone like me who doesn't really understand what that means, how do you explain that to your customers?
Yeah, so and I guess we can bandy words around that don't always mean things, but for us, what we're doing is we're letting them roam outside. So you can see over in the distance there, we've got cows and calves in a paddock. We let them just roam. I mean, yes, we move them into different paddocks. We're not putting a whole heap of artificial inputs into them, and we're trying to keep meds to a minimum as well. So, you know, what we're trying to produce a product that hasn't been tampered with, for want of a better word. So, because we think that's what the consumer is looking for.
So the butcher's shop then, if I'm coming in as, you know, someone who's looking to buy some bits and pieces, maybe I'm not altogether sure about either what I'm looking for or what I should be cooking or how I should be cooking a piece. Are you and your staff able to kind of give me some hints and tips on what I should be doing as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you've got an idea of what you want to do, the butchers in there will give you the bit that's ideally suited for that. And we can tailor that to budgets, to what people are really wanting to do, whether it's a wow factor or whether it's, you know, more run of the mill. It's important that people come in, get what they want, and have a great eating experience at the end of it. So, yeah, we try and help as much as we possibly can.
You need to tell me about your haggis and black pudding, which I hear is something quite special.
Well, again, we like to think so. So we have, for both products, we've got a recipe that we've been using for decades. And yeah, we tweak it a wee bit every now and again. But yeah, we've managed to pick up 1 or 2 awards for it on the way. And it's extremely popular with hotels, restaurants and private individuals alike. So yeah.
I feel like you're being maybe a little bit reserved about the awards that this has won. Come on, this is your time to brag. What has this haggis and black pudding won?
So it has won some great taste awards in the past. I'm trying to think what more recently. I think it won a food service award somewhere along the lines as well. So yeah, it's good. It's nice to pick up little accolades like that along the way.
And what's your favourite way to cook the haggis and the black pudding?
Black pudding I would have as part of a breakfast every single time, especially with some really nice bacon, pork sausages, hash browns. Can't forget the hash browns. Like haggis, again, like it really traditionally, haggis, neeps and tatties. So, freshly caught feral haggis, can't beat it.
And if people want to come and visit your little pop-up shed here, when and where can they find it?
So it's open 7 days a week, loosely between 9 and 7. It normally opens on time, but it closes any sort of time. And we're just outside of Dallas on the way to Pluskinen.
And remind me, do I need to have some cash on me for this shop?
We take cash, or we can do bank transfer, PayPal. We've got many different ways of relieving you of your cash.
No excuses then. Oh well, I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go and stock up, I reckon. Thank you so much for showing me around.
Thank you for coming. It's been great to see you.
After hearing about Jock and his award-winning haggis and black pudding, I'm off to find another farm that's got a foodie offering for us now, where I hear they make small batch charcuterie on the farm. I love a bit of charcuterie, some cheese and some wine to go alongside it, all the better, so I can't wait to meet Caroline and find out all about it. All right, I've just turned on to a dirt track. The views are absolutely incredible. Hi, I'm Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Nice to meet you.
And you?
Hi. Sorry, not got enough hands. Lovely to meet you both. Lovely to meet you.
So we are Caroline and Alec Matheson, and we're at Bogrove Farm, about an hour north of Inverness, 5 miles from Tain. And we're a small livestock farm, about 38 hectares, and we keep cows, sheep, pigs, and make charcuterie out of it.
I love how you say this just so casually. And we happen to make charcuterie. Now, we are in here, a room that I don't imagine many farms have. So tell me a little bit about this space.
We started off with a small deer larder, butchering our own meat for customers. And we got the idea of preserving meat, curing meat, because we do love it ourselves. We thought, well, maybe we could have a shot of giving it a go. So we started making it on our own small scale for ourselves, and we quite liked it. And then we looked into maybe making that part of our business. So we sort of researched it a little bit, and then we managed to get some leader funding. So we got some plans together, and eventually we got this place here, which is, we're really proud of it. It's, is it 15 metres by 6 metres? 15 by 6. Multiple rooms in here. We've got a chiller, our main working area here, where we do all the cutting up and butchery. We've got an aging room there, where all the stuff gets finished, and a packing room that does the final packaging before it goes out for sale.
And we also made this area as big as we could, so eventually we hope to do some courses, so people could come and learn how to make sausages or cut up a lamb or make salami, things like that.
I imagine this was quite a learning curve for you both on how to start your own charcuterie.
It's been quite a journey.
Yeah.
YouTube's very helpful, and Google. We've been on a couple of short courses ourselves as well, just to see how other people do it.
And you've made your own little slice of Spain in the Highlands with charcuterie here.
Exactly.
So I'm intrigued by what else is here. Can you show me around?
Yes. So over here we have the curing cabinet. So our salamis come in here first. They spend about a week in here where they go through the fermentation. So essentially we're looking for the pH to drop, and it helps to make it safe to eat, and it helps develop the flavour as well. So once they've been in here for a week, we move them into the aging room.
Oh my goodness.
So
what do we have here?
So all of these salamis here, this is a Milano salami. It's beef and pork, so our own Ling beef and our Gloucester Old Spot pork. So they've had their time in the cabinet, and now they're in here for probably about 6 weeks. And what we're looking for is them to lose weight, so the moisture evaporates out of them, the flavour develops and it dries out enough to be safe to eat.
The smell in here is incredible. It's very peppery. Actually, I wasn't expecting that. And what else have you got? Because there's all sorts of colours and shapes and sizes of things hanging around here.
So, well, first of all, we've got these little guys here. This is nduja, which is a soft, spreadable salami. It's got loads of paprika in it and quite a lot of fat, and that's why it's nice and soft. Fantastic on pizza or in a chili. With a tomatoey sauce with fish, that kind of thing. Over here we have, this is a coppa. Now that's the neck muscle of a pig. So we take the whole muscle, we cure it in salt and spices for about 3 weeks. Then we rinse it off, wrap it in a collagen casing and hang it up to dry. And these guys takes 3 to 6 months depending on the size before they're ready to eat. And when they're ready, we'll peel all this off and then slice it really thinly. Above them, we have culatellos, or what we're also calling Rocher air-dried ham now, because we decided that's more appropriate, since it is from Rocher. But this is a leg, pork leg, and it's boned out, and then we roll it up, tie it up, and cure it just like the coppa with the salt and everything. And then hang them up to dry. And they're at least 6 months, those ones, because they're quite large.
Where can people find all of this to actually buy?
So you can buy it from us here on the farm. We've just recently made a wee shop. Well, there's no stalking because of the seasons. I've stolen Alex's deer larder and turned it into a wee shop. So by arrangement, people can come up and pick up a few bits. We also do our local community markets. So there's one in Tain and one in Dornoch. And we sell to quite a few farm shops. So there's one in Dornoch, Dalmore Farm Shop near Allness, Farm Ness near Inverness, Druid Temple Farm, Inverness.
What's people's reaction when they hear that you're making this here on site, just on the doorstep of Tain and Inverness?
They're quite surprised. Like yourself, when you come through the door, it is quite an impressive building. When you come into sort of, surrounded by generally a working farm, and then you come into this fairly sort of clinical kind of facility, which it kind of has to be. In this room here, we're just basically replicating the traditional kind of cave type thing in northern Spain or France, whatever, but we don't have caves here, so we have to make our own.
The meat comes from the farm itself, so obviously that gives you a lot of control over what you're using, but then I guess kind of the sky's your limit in terms of how you then go about using that product.
Yeah, so we started off with some basic flavours, looked at recipe books and things, so there was fennel and a red wine and pepper and garlic. But the fun part is just trying new things. So we've got one that we quite like. It's a porcini and gin salami that we make in little snack sticks. They're really popular.
I don't want to stay in here too long because we'll probably be letting all the warm air in while this is beautifully curing. This is cheeky, but is there anything that I could try while I'm here of the produce? You break my heart.
Of course, yeah. Why don't we pop through to the shop?
Oh yes, let's do that. Let's have a look.
Right, so this is the deer larder, also now the shop.
And here it is. Brilliant. So you have like a charcuterie selection, which is just a taste of a couple of different pieces, I guess.
So I was thinking we could open one of those for you to try, if you like.
Oh, thank you very much.
There you go.
Oh, there we are. Thank you. So
that is pretty sure that's copper. So the first whole muscle one we looked at, the smaller one, this is the neck muscle. So that's our kind of plain copper. It's not got any strong spices or anything around the outside. Just a little bit of black pepper and bay and juniper when it's been cured.
It tastes almost very slight smoke to it coming through. I think a little bit of the pepper, and it just dissolves. That is so lovely. Oh my goodness. I don't know how you eat anything else.
I do eat quite a lot of this because when I'm slicing, obviously you've got to check each batch to make sure it tastes good. So
of course.
And then there's the bits that break, and then there's the
end bits. Yeah. And When people come and visit, can they have a look at the animals here as well on the farm?
Yes, at the moment we just do the odd sort of tour on request, but that is another thing that we're planning. We've been working with Scottish Agri-Tourism to start doing tours. So the thoughts are we need to get maybe another wee building to host people in. But the idea would be that we would take folk on a wee walking tour around the farm, visit the pigs and the cows, and we can talk about how we raise them, and they can come into the butchery and see how we prepare the salamis, and then pop into the shop and do a wee tasting.
So we've come down to see the pigs. These ladies are looking rather portly right now, but with reason.
Yeah, well, they're late in pig now, which means they're beginning having little piglets probably within the next week. Their bellies have really dropped now. They're almost on the ground, and you can see they're developing their milk now. So yeah,
And they're very chilled because they're wanting belly scratches.
well, yeah, from the outset, when we decide to keep a gilt or a young sow, we do spend a lot more time with them just to get them used to us. It's very easy to get a pig to like you, if you're good to them. They like interaction. They love getting scratched and just rubbed up against you, and anything else that's fixed, like that was going to wreck my plastics on my bike. So Gloucester All Spot pigs. There's an old endangered breed.
This must be a great facet to have kind of in your back pocket for when you start thinking about doing tours, because who doesn't love pigs and piglets?
Exactly, and hopefully part of the tour will be coming to have a wee scratch with a pig and see if you can tip them over with a belly rub, as we just did with this one here. She went over.
Well, thank you so much for taking me down here and showing me more of the process and what goes on. And I never thought I'd say this, but if I was a pig, this is where I'd want to be.
Yes. Yeah, it's a good life.
So if people are wanting to come and see this beautiful location for themselves and buy from the shop here, do they need to get in touch with you beforehand?
Yes, at the moment we would appreciate that if you just send us a message via Facebook or Instagram, or text us, email us, and we can make sure that we're going to be here just in case we're not. And then eventually, once we get a more permanent shop, we'll be able to have set opening hours and things like that.
Oh, well, I will be one of your first customers when you do, I can guarantee it.
In half a mile, turn left.
Before I reach the next stop on today's tour, I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about the Go Rural Scotland community and how they're welcoming visitors to farms and crofts across Scotland. All of the farms we're visiting today are part of that community, and we're showcasing a handful of farming businesses that you can easily reach for a family day out from Inverness. But you can find many more businesses like these all across Scotland at goruralscotland.com. There's a real wealth of experiences to be had and beautiful places to explore, all on real working farms and all within easy reach of Scotland's urban centres. For a family day out or an escape from city life, great places to visit and buy food and drink direct from a farmer, or to enjoy an overnight stay or two. Just check out goruralscotland.com for ideas and inspiration to help you go rural.
From brilliant views of the hills, I've come 20 minutes east towards Tain, and I've rocked up at Fern Farm, which is my third stop for today. And there are some gorgeous looking holiday cottages, which is, I think, what I'm here to chat to Fiona all about.
I am Fiona Scott, and we are in the mill at Fern Farm, which is about 40 miles north of Inverness, and we are on the Easter Ross Peninsula.
And we're inside this absolutely beautiful building. So this is some of the holiday accommodation that you have on offer here.
Yeah, so this is the mill end of the mill at Fern Farm, and this end sleeps 10 people. The other end sleeps 4, and there's adjoining doors, so you can rent the whole thing and have it opened up as one building. But there's like double doors in between the 2 ends with soundproofing, so it's all completely separate. It does feel like 2 separate houses as well. So yeah, it's been on the go for about 3 years now. Yeah, we're really pleased with it.
Well, it's absolutely gorgeous. We've come in here to a huge kitchen with a lovely island, and I'm just peeking around the corner here to a tremendous living room. This is huge. You could absolutely have a ceilidh in here if you didn't have any of the furniture. And gorgeous wood-burning stove and a huge picnic bench style dining table. But I'll tell you what has caught my eye is out these beautiful picture doors at the end. Talk about being right in the heart of nature. Just describe to me the scene in front of us.
There's a lamb sunbathing out there, having a wee scratch and some ewes.
You are as close as you could possibly be to sitting and having a cup of coffee with a sheep.
That's very true. We kept the farm fencing. We did think about putting a hedge in, and then someone said, one of our first guests said, oh, just being able to watch the animals running up and down the fence line, they just loved it. It felt you were so close to everything that was going on. So yeah, it's great. We've got just some hogs in here that are finishing off lambing, and we usually try to have, we've got some Highland cows, we usually try to have them round about, not too far away. They're characters. They like to come over and have a chat over the fence. And Hebridean sheep, which are, they're not sure if they're sheep or if they're goats. They're just real characters. They really are a bit mental.
It's very windy outside, so we're just going to stay in basking in the sunshine as it comes in here. But there's another huge picnic table outside and a little raised bed, and then it's straight into the fields. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that if a Highland cow stuck its head over that fence, you could just about reach and give it no stroke.
Yeah, you could. I had planted some grasses in the raised bed, and one of the Highland cows decided that it quite liked the taste of them and decided to pull them out. Yeah, they're quite cheeky, but very friendly.
And so have you found that with your visitors? Obviously there's a bit of novelty value as that lamb shakily gets to its feet to have a little explore, but also being just so close to see how these animals are in their natural environment. A lot of people don't normally see that if you're just driving by at 70 miles an hour in the dual carriageway.
Yeah, it's a lovely thing for the guests to be able to just sit and watch. Yeah, there's quite a bit of grass outside. Yeah, and kids are playing out there, hanging off the fence, and yeah, I think people do really appreciate it.
Shall we have an explore through? What else can we find here?
Yeah, we've tried to use local arts and crafts a bit. We've got these lovely whiskey barrel chairs that are made by a company in Inverness called Darragh, and obviously sheepskins from the Sky skins on Skye, Isle of Skye, and just local art, pottery. We're very lucky. We've got Anta pottery just down the road from us. Yeah, local makers. Yeah, done different bits of furniture like the footstools, and just nice to use champion local businesses. So yeah, this is one of the bedrooms. I'm a bit of a fan of blue as well, you might be able to tell.
If you so desired, you could be here lying in bed, maybe with a cup of tea in the morning, and once again, you've got views straight in to some of the sheep grazing field there.
Yeah.
That must be quite special.
Yeah, I suppose the things that we take for granted as farmers in agri-tourism are the things that are really special to other people. What's our normal is people's extraordinary.
I can see this being a real hit with families, especially with young children.
Yeah, they do. And it's lovely actually hearing them playing outside in the grass lawn out there. They just, football and chasing about and mucking about. It's great. Although we had a 70th birthday party here a few weeks ago, a surprise, and they had a fantastic time. And yeah, the fire pit outside is a good sociable space. We've had some wedding parties that got married locally, and then the wedding party have stayed here afterwards. And yeah, we've had some good sing-songs going on outside at night round the fire pit. It's been quite entertaining. This area here is just quite a good wee sun trap. Quite often see, when I'm going past, I can see people sitting out here with a book or just a coffee and just having a bit of quiet time, bit of relax.
So I'm very lucky. You've kindly agreed to put me up here tonight. I am so excited to wake up and be looking out the window at some sheep. I had such a lovely stay here last night. I spent my evening sat in the living room watching all of the sheep and the cows come and go about their business, watching the swallows swoop and dive. There was a red kite that was hovering overhead at one point. I had a book with me, and I don't think I read more than one page because I was just so taken in with my surroundings and the fact that you are planted right in the middle of a farmer's field and you get to enjoy what's going on around you. From view of sheep and hills, I'm going on to my final stop on my little road trip of places that are just a stone's throw away from Inverness. And I believe that this one has got some pretty spectacular sea views.
So we are at Castle Craig Farm in Nick. My name is Les Whiteford.
And I'm Stevie Whiteford, and the family have been farming here since 1986. I think we bought this farm. It's a mixed livestock and arable farm. We've got about 850 or so acres with about 100 suckler cows, 600 ewes, and we grow about 250 acres of malt barley. And
we're standing on what is possibly I've decided now, this might be my favourite view of Scotland.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
This is phenomenal. Views for miles. It feels like I couldn't get sick of this view.
No, you don't tire of it at all.
Describe to me kind of what we can see from our vantage point up here.
We're standing on the south side of Nig Hill, which is just next to the Black Isle. So we're overlooking the Murray Firth. We're right opposite Nairn, but we can see there must be 40 miles of the Murray coast. We're looking far to the right as we're looking south. We can see across to just the sort of eastern end of Inverness. We've got Nairn right along to a big long beach right the way along to Lossiemouth, and then we can just see through into, I suppose, on a very clear day, we're just about seeing it, but through to the top of Aberdeenshire.
I mean, just incredible. And you're being very generous because it's not just you who's getting to enjoy these views either, because we're standing in front of which looks like some pretty incredible space-age huts. Tell me about these.
Well, yeah, I think because of the view, we moved here about 3 years ago, joined the family farm, and because of the view we thought we need to take advantage of this and share it with other people. So we decided to put some self-catering accommodation up. So they're an in-between. They're not a pod and they're not like a house lodge. They're more kind of cabins. That's what we've gone with, cabins. And we've kind of tried to take advantage of the lovely view of having big, large glass front entrances so you can sit and watch what's going on outside. And we opened up in July last year, and it's been non-stop ever since.
I can imagine, because the views itself would sell this place, but the cabins look incredibly luxurious. And I've just spied, do they each have a hot tub at the front as well?
They all have their own private hot tub. It's just definitely a great advantage that everyone loves sitting in the hot tub. I was down earlier this morning, I saw someone having their morning coffee in the hot tub. I think there was cruise liners that come in, so there was a cruise liner that passed this morning. So I think they were probably just enjoying sitting in the hot tub. Even on a kind of coldish day, you're warm in the hot tub, so it doesn't really matter what the weather's like. It's lovely.
Yeah, there's always something happening out just below, out in the sea. So we would spend a lot of time here after we arrive. We'd be down in this, well, as just a field at that point, and we'd be, glued to the fence watching dolphins or watching whatever's coming in and out of the Cromarty Firth. So we knew we had to do something here, but it took a bit of time to work out exactly what, and that's why we're hunkered on the side of a cliff. It is quite a sheltered bit, so that's why we've gone for these particular design of cabins, as we call them.
Yeah, so we are kind of, the setup that you have here is built almost into the cliff face. It's really quite a steep drive coming down, and you've got 4 cabins, which you can just see the other ones from each other, but they are very secluded and very sheltered. It's not like they're butt up against one another. Was that quite
that's
important?
quite a lot of it's quite a lot of the sort of feedback that we get, that it's lovely that you've got your own private area. There are other cabins round about, but you don't feel like you're overlooked or anything. And beside each of the hot tubs, you've got like a privacy screen that you can pull along as well. So you can be completely kind of private, and
it's actually, now we're sort of getting towards a year in, it's getting a bit more settled in terms of the landscaping, because we've got a fair bit of time and effort in thinking that through, and we're sort of leaving the bankings fairly wild, and we'll let vegetation come up just to give that a bit more privacy. But you're caught between giving enough space and making sure you're taking advantage of the views. So it took a bit of thought, but there's a bit of a happy medium, I think.
Yeah.
We've been standing outside this cabin. Can we have a peek inside?
Yes, we definitely can.
Come on in.
So this is one with 2 bedrooms. We've got two 2-bedroom cabins and 2 1-bedroom cabins, just to kind of allow flexibility for families or couples to come. So there's a twin bedroom, king size bedroom, and then a nice kind of living area, kitchen area to take advantage of a nice view, and a bathroom with a shower. So you've got everything you need. It's compact, but we've tried to think of everything and trying to give it that kind of luxury feel as well.
Well, it absolutely is. I'm loving the little L-shaped sofa, kind of perfect snuggling spot there for looking out over onto and catching your dolphins. And the decor is very chic, kind of Scandi kind of style. Is that you go for?
True. Yeah. That's what. Yeah, we'll go with that. Just nice and fresh and bright, but then adding some colour and kind of trying to stick with kind of a bit of a country kind of farmishy feel, but luxury, and bringing kind of some blues and stuff into it with the seaside kind of theme as well. I definitely wanted to make sure that it wasn't kind of like a glamping pod. You've got your proper kitchen there, so we've even got a dishwasher, because you're on holiday, you don't necessarily want to do lots of dishes. So we've got the dishwasher. That was quite an important factor, and a combination microwave oven. Again, for space, I couldn't have an oven and a microwave, so it's a combination which works well. We've got an espresso coffee pod machine with compostable pods, to be eco-friendly. And storage, you can see that we've kind of just used shelves and stuff to kind of get all the storage in, but it kind of adds a bit of kind of interest to the kitchen as well, having everything kind of out and about. And you can chill out, you can relax, you can watch the views, sit in the hot tub. Got decking just right outside where the hot tub is as well, so the hot tub's nice and close. And then we have gone for, we do have Wi-Fi and smart TVs, so although you can shut off from everything, you've still got those luxuries and necessities if you wish them. Some people might want to switch off from all of that, which you can do as well, but it's their choice.
And you mentioned as well that it's dog friendly too.
Yes, so they're all dog friendly, which I think people love. People love bringing their dogs with them. So we're open to sort of two dogs, we'd say, depending, unless they're really big dogs, but they can have 2 dogs, but we just say you've got to kind of be careful. It is a working farm, so if they're out and about, they need to be on a lead, and we leave little doggy treats and poo bags, so they keep the grass area all nice and clean.
And in terms of what else is around here, I mean, I don't think I'd want to move from the hot tub when I was here, but I'm guessing that you're in a brilliant place for exploring the local surroundings and getting out and about and walks and things.
Yeah, the East Ross Peninsula, there's loads to kind of see around here. So even just on the farm, you can just see in the distance there, we've got World War I and World War II gun emplacements.
There's 2 from World War I further along, sort of right on the very point of the North Sutor, looking over to Cromarty and the Black Isle, and then closer to here there's another 2 World War II ones which are pretty spectacular. They had the big guns you see on the top front of Navy ships. They basically put those in there. I don't think they were ever used in anger, but they were there as a deterrent, and we get loads of visitors coming to that anyway. There's a core path that comes through it, so lots of the visitors that come here to the cabins enjoy sort of clambering over there, so that is a bit of an attraction. There's a beach just at the bottom of the farm road, which is great. A lot of people do water sports from there. I mean, we do get people who just sit here and don't move for a week, but most people want to, at least want to go and have a walk around. They can walk anywhere.
Everyone does a bit different. So some people will just chill out here and maybe walk around the farm. Other people will go over to Skye for the day. A lot of people will actually go up to John O'Groats because they've come from down south of England and they're like, if we've come this far, we're going to go all the way to the north. And I'm like, I've never even been there, so well done, you guys. So yeah, everyone does a lot of different things. Maybe touching on North Coast 500 or just staying on the East Ross Peninsula. We're lucky at the moment because the ferry is running from Nig over to Cromarty, and it's a lovely day trip. You feel, even when we go, we feel like we're on a wee holiday. So we always encourage people to do that.
Just down the back farm road.
Where that beach is. Lots of beaches nearby. We're spoilt for beaches.
And so there you have it. 4 very different farms, all a stone's throw away from Inverness, perfect for a day out, each offering something very, very different. I've loved every minute of finding out about these farms, tasting the food, seeing the views, meeting the animals, and meeting the fantastic people who are doing brilliant things with their farms and bringing in tourists to see what goes on behind the fence. And I think it's fair to say that I will definitely be coming back to them all.
Massive thanks to Emily Yason for being our reporter for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed the Go Rural series, where we've used different voices to present and report on our behalf. I think it probably gives you a nice different flavour sometimes. The 4 farm businesses that Emily spent time with, and who it sounds like she'll be returning to very soon, are Castlecraig Farm, Thern Farm, Ballgrove Farm and Edenvale Farm. Jock and Fiona Gibson at Edenvale also have Macbeth's Butchers in Forres. They're all first-rate Scottish farm businesses. We are pleased to be able to shine a light on them here on the On Farm podcast. Speaking of first-rate businesses, this is the latest in our series in partnership with Go Rural Scotland. And as you've heard, Go Rural are consumer-facing farmers working to build relationships between rural and urban Scotland, and to build a better understanding of how food and drink from Scottish farms is produced to the highest welfare and environmental standards. You can find them online at goruralscotland.com, and that website has more details of all the farms showcased in today's episode. I'm just going to leave you now with our usual reminder. The On Farm podcast is made by our team at Scene&HerdPR and Marketing. You can give us a shout, you can reach out to us on social media, get in touch if you need a podcast or help with any rural food or farming PR and comms. With that, that's it from me, and bye for now.